how big do you see the movement getting? Like, what do you imagine? Let's say 3 years from now. What is your belief? What do you imagine this will be?
So I said to someone the other day that what's happening here to me is very, very clear, but the order of magnitude is a question mark.
Okay.
I think when you're looking at things like this, there can be such nonlinear consequences and outcomes and outliers that is so hard to predict. I do think that continuing to grow the base of the network is the fastest way to accelerate the outcome. So today we have 205 people who are out there as proponents of this thing, telling people about it, evangelizing, onboarding. When you get to 400,000 people, the effect is nonlinear, it's exponential. So it's not like we've doubled our output, like there's some exponent that we've applied to our output. So when you start to get to really, really big numbers of people participating in this thing, um, it can accelerate very, very quickly. And that's why I think this point that Murad has made and a lot of people are talking about critical mass is so important because once you cross that, you've got a perpetual motion machine.
I feel like we were. I think we're already there, like you mentioned.
Me too. I mean,
I think it's un. It feels inevitable. Like everybody is so freaking relentless. Even if 10, 15 people out of 18 or 16 or something says no, you still get another person. It's just gonna keep happening.
like a Salesforce,
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, right? Like you just can't stop a 200,000 person pe group of people selling an idea and a vision and a product to people. It's a product, yeah, in a way.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That's not giving it the credit it deserves, but
It's a
just to
good
like
analogy. Yeah.
simplify the equation, like, and so there's every day there. That's why you see if you were to look at holder growth, that is why you see it go up every single day, no matter what, because there's always people out there working.
Yeah.
Um, and that's why I think you can't stop this
And
thing.
the beauty of it is the memetics keeps people here. It keeps people interested. It's not like, oh, it's some animal coin. We're gonna like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it has been very surprising to me. Having pitched people on Bitcoin back in 2015 and 2016, and then there's only been a few coins, maybe three or four, that I've actually told like my friends about or my family about, because I was always like, this might be a good investment or a good trade and it might make a lot of money, but like if it goes south, like I don't want to, I don't want my friends and family to get hosed. So I've really only told them about things that I'm in for the long term that I really deeply believe in. And this is one of those things.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people are not crypto native. And I have been surprised at how quickly they understand it. And I think the reason they understand it and are excited about it very quickly are multifaceted. So, one reason I think that is the case is because we now have 15 years of people understanding, okay, crypto is its own asset class. Maybe they've learned a little bit about blockchain technology. Like they have a foundational education where they know what this is a little bit. As opposed to if you were trying to tell someone about Bitcoin back in, 2014,
Yeah.
2015, you'd
Well,
have to go
yeah.
through like, what is a blockchain, proof of work, like all this type of stuff. How do I buy it? Like what wallet do I onboard? Like we're at a point in the maturity of the asset class where you can skip over a lot of that, which makes the onboarding process easier.
Yes.
The other reason I think it is very easy for them is it attaches to a problem that a lot of them are experiencing themselves. So they experience inflation. They're experiencing, where do I put my money in a world where like real estate has gone up and to the right, the stock market has gone up and to the right, Bitcoin has gone up and to the right. Like what do I do? Where do I put my money? They're experiencing that question. They might be experiencing slower wage growth in their careers and They're like, how the hell am I going to get ahead? They might be trying to buy a house and they're going out and shopping around for houses and they're paying some very large sum of money to get a much smaller house than they had anticipated. So the problem is something that they are more deeply connected to and experiencing firsthand, which is all related to this feeling of like the system is not working for me or for a large group of people in society.
Yeah.
And so they see that very directly. And so introducing an asset to them that is essentially a magnet coalescing a lot of people who want to express that view through a financial vehicle that attaches to this latent feeling in society that is everywhere, is something that just resonates with people very, very quickly.
Right. Yeah, that did pop up another thought real quick. So if you were going to pitch this to a company, would you just strictly do the metrics, or would you go into those kind of ideas as well?
I would talk about the context. I think the context is super important. So I would start with Bitcoin. Why did Bitcoin was a response to the 2008 financial crisis.
Right.
Bitcoin was a belief that the system was not working for people, that fiat currency is a product that was provided by governments and they were not doing a good job. And people were experiencing and feeling that themselves, like watching the printers turn on and things like this. And Bitcoin was an enticing and attractive alternative to a problem that they saw and that they felt. And I think then taking them through the journey of, have you ever thought about the possibility that Bitcoin, this is something that has like deeply resonated with me more recently. Have you ever thought about the possibility that that same latent belief in society that manifested at the right time in the aftermath of 2008 and was concentrated in Bitcoin could reemerge at other times through other assets? Have you ever thought about that possibility? A lot of people haven't, but when you prompt them that way, they start to think about it. They're like, oh, and you're like, yeah. Like, do you think GME was like maybe a manifestation of a similar feeling that was directed and concentrated in another asset? They're like, yeah. Oh, that kind of does make sense. Oh, but they turned off the buy button, or they stopped it. It was on. It was as Manj described it, I think, on your last podcast. It was an away game.
Yeah,
And
not good. Yeah.
So GME was stopped short. And has the world really improved that much? Do you think there's still a very large group of people in society who feel like the system is not working for them and don't have an alternative? Bitcoin was an alternative. Do you think now is the time that another alternative makes sense? If this type of thing were to happen, does it solve a lot of problems for a lot of people? Yes. And then you start to go into like, okay, yeah, conceptually that makes sense, but is it happening?
Right.
And that's where you can draw them to some of the evidence and things that I was looking at, where it's like, yeah, I think it's happening. So that is kind of how I've told the story, is like, what is Bitcoin really? Why did Bitcoin happen? What was the timing, context, and circumstances around Bitcoin? Have you thought of the idea that it's possible that Bitcoin is a recurring phenomenon? Why does that make sense? Why does it not make sense? Do you think GME was an example of that?
Yeah.
GME stop short. Did that feeling go away? Not really. If there was a new vehicle that afforded people with an opportunity to work together and express that view, and it came together with the right set of ingredients and circumstances, do you think that could happen again? People are like, yeah.
Right. Exactly.
I think that story has in my experience, it like hits people.
Yeah. I think that's a great way to think about it, even for talking to individuals as well.